Hi, Libby. Come out of your shell, Libby, will you? We're going to just pop in whenever. Are you Bobbie? Was that Bobbie I was talking to? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of that today. Light of day. Hi, Bobbie. How you doing? Right. Well, hopefully, it's a fun movie. It it. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's essentially the parallel is that, I left home when I was 18, as you said, from Burnaby, BC, Canada, and went to Los Angeles and lived in like one room over a carport, and in those ways it was similar. Obviously, the details are vastly different, and in terms of Brantley's escapades, I'm not really going to go into whether or not those kind of things existed in my life. But yeah, there was a lot of that. I certainly did feel that, and kind of things like talking to Mom and saying, "Look, I've got to do this." That kind of feeling existed in my own life too. But for the most part, there wasn't a real autobiographical feeling, or any kind of an emphasis on that. Essentially, it was like get as many laughs as you can, tell a good story, and have people that people like. You know. I know. Well, he didn't choreograph them, but what Herb, it's very interesting you should mention that, because Herb does some really interesting things. He's, first of all, a fabulous director, and one of the best experiences I ever had working with him. He would do something like, if you're walking down a hallway, he'll crank music. I mean, just turn on music with a big beat as loud as he can, and you don't necessarily move to it, but it's funny how it kind of, well, some theoreticians or whatever people, music people, figure that it opens up the right side of your brain, because you just start doing different things and moving differently, and it affects the way, the energy you put into your step and things like that. And he does that kind of stuff a lot. He's very interested in movement, very interested in music, very interested in energy, and it's a difference between someone saying, I want more, and someone saying, well, I'm not going to ask you to do more, because that could look fake. What I'm going to do is just surround you with every element that I can that will encourage you to do more, but so that you actually feel it. And music is the best way to do it. He does that a lot. Yeah, he just runs the tape. The sound guys crank it, and it's fun. I mean, it's an interesting way to work. It's different. I mean, you wouldn't want to do it, in certain types of films, but it certainly worked on this picture. Yeah, a little Van Morrison, little soft light. If that doesn't work for you, you're dead. No, that was just we made our own music, I guess. I don't know. Pure acting, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. You know, there are some that say, in order to succeed, you should be in the right place at the right time. I would modify that by saying you have to be in the right place at the right time and do the right thing. I don't know. I think I just always wanted to work. I really had no aspirations to, achieve any kind of level, and certainly never ever thought that my life would work out this well. But I don't know. I just keep my head down, keep moving, try to do the best work I can do, and try to work as well as I can with the talented people that I'm lucky enough to be around, and it all seems to work. But I try not to analyze too much because I usually miss something while I'm looking back. Well, not really. In fact, no. People say that to me with Back to the Future. They said, "Boy, how are you going to top this every time?" And I said, "Boy, you guys missed the point. I don't have to now. I mean, it's there, it's done. It did really well. I'm certainly not all my doing. I mean, there were a lot of people involved, and it was a great experience and a thrill that'll last me forever. I just take one project at a time. If it does well, I'm pleased. I'm proud. If it doesn't, that's life." I've had so many good experiences at 25 that if someone says, or if a situation comes up that tells me that this is it, it's over now, I would have a real hard time having any kind of bitterness, because it's just been such a terrific ride, and maybe who knows? You know what I mean? I can't. It's been so great that I'm not going to put any pressure on myself that way. The pressure that I put on myself is to do the best job that I can do, to put everything I have into every project that I do, and I'm rarely satisfied that I've done that. So it's hard enough to deal with my own pressure. If I start worrying about the Us Magazine Who's Hot and Who's Not list, then my head will explode. And what does all that really mean anyway? I just try to do an honest day's work. Well, on one level, on a professional level, I like to, write, and I've had an offer to direct a film, which I'd like to do at some point. And on another level, I want to get married and make babies. I mean, I can keep busy doing that for a while. I really don't want to. Well, I think I'll be okay. I don't know how to say that, but I think the pressure's off in that regard. Hopefully, who knows? Who knows? I may go crazy. Hopefully, yeah. I got a guy named Howard Wiznicki. He calls himself the Wiz. Hopefully, he's living up to that right now. If he doesn't, I will find him in South America and put a pillow on his head. But no, I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself that way. I have simple needs. I don't know. It's a few Diet Pepsis. In fact, can I have a sip of this, do you mind? Well, I think next year Alex is finally over Ellen. I think he might find a girl. We're talking about that, and other than that, just Keaton's as usual. We're real excited about the new season, and contrary to anything you might hear, is not true. We're all excited about going back. We're still having a good time with the show, and I think that's the only script thing, the only plot thing that I know about is that Alex is going to find another girl. No, not yet, not yet. They never cast those roles without me there. All the other ones that I want to say, leading ladies, I'll be right there. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Give me one. I take one drag. Hi, John. Hi, Jan.